Now let's move to Mangaung. A time for unity and restoration. That's what the newly elected mayor, Mxolisi Siyonzana, has declared as he takes over the troubled municipality. Siyonzana replaces Olly Mlamleli, who was ousted via a motion of no confidence a year ago.
We are struck by a unique crisis situation. These are the most trying times for our growing democracy. It is as if both William Butler-Yeats and Junior Ashebe had the current state of our city in mind when they lamented, I quote, "Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world." Close quote. With unity, we can restore this city as a center that must hold. And our local communities shall be the bedrock for this purpose. I cannot do all this alone. I need you. This time around, when we dominate the headlines again, let it be because we will have shifted our position to stability, having escaped from a fiscal cliff and no longer under Section 139 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa.
All right, so there he is. But what will the new man at the helm bring to Bloem? To discuss this, I'm joined by Counsellor Hardie Viviers, caucus leader of the Democratic Alliance in Mangaung. Good evening, Counsellor. Thank you very much for joining us. How do you feel about the new mayor?
Good evening, Sonny, and all the people watching on this channel. Yeah, our opinion is that the ANC in Mangaung has failed the residents of Mangaung again. There were several residents of Mangaung public formations within the Metro opposition parties, and even ANC members who voiced their disapproval towards the newly elected executive mayor, Counsellor Siyonzana, but nonetheless, the ANC caucus supported him, and even though other opposition parties also voted against him, bulldoze this election through. It's quite clear, the ANC have illustrated, that they only honour the interests of their own party, and definitely fails again the residents of Mangaung and even their own electorate.
What's he done wrong?
Well, Counsellor Siyonzana has been the speaker in our August House for 12 years. I think the most relevant that we can mention is that indeed he didn't take a strong hand in dealing with those that were implicated for serious maladministration, mismanagement, and even so far as corruption. And we are specifically referring to the previous municipal manager, Advocate Mia. And in that matter, you have really safeguarded him for a very, very long period of time, not letting our watertight disciplinary procedures serve in time. And at the end of the day, he was actually forced to resign. Now, what else is that than safeguarding your cadres at the end of the day?
Talk to me about the shape that Mangaung is in. We remember seeing the protests in May. There was a great deal of unhappiness on the streets of the municipality. Also, financially, the city and the municipality is in bad shape. The AG report for the 2019-2020 year showed nearly 1.2 billion rand, I think, in unauthorized expenditure in Mangaung. What needs to happen now?
Strong leadership, and it's not getting better. It's rather getting worse. I mean, if let's just be realistic about this. This election of the newly elected mayor, executive mayor, even the speaker, is more of the same to come. It's now more than 2 decades, so the track record can speak for itself. wastage is not being removed. There's no proper services rendered. It's not the city of roses, it's a rubbish dump. So what needs to happen is that there must be strong leadership. And after everything that has happened today, it's quite clear to me that there's only one way to heal Mangaung at the end of the day, and that will be the local government elections. Only if another government can be voted into power, which indeed honors the interest of residents of Mangaung and not of their own political party, only then one will have change. But currently, we have the ANC and they have the majority.
But is there a better person within the ANC that you would have preferred to see installed as mayor?
Look, Counsellor Siyonzana, in his defense, have a lot of experience, firstly, and have served long. But I truly think that even within their own caucus, and I cannot now mention immediately this name or that name, but indeed there should be definitely better candidates than himself. Again, I'm using the example for the fact that he didn't deal with those who was implicated in maladministration and corruption. It's sometimes feel as if you have to do with a chameleon. In the Ace Magashule days, he was playing on that side of the field, and it now seems that he's playing in the Ramaphosa side of the field.
Yeah, he is known to be close to Ace Magashule. You, as a member of the DA, just tell me how much support opposition you have within the opposition caucus in Mangaung, and what you can do if you have concerns, if you feel that things are still not being managed properly, if the waste continues not to be collected. What power do you have as an opposition party?
Well, at the end of the day, just to give you the figures, we are 100 councillors. If my mind serves me correctly, 58 ANC councillors, 27 DA councillors. I'm not that sure about the EFF. I think there are 9, and then smaller parties make up the rest. So indeed, yes, that's one of the predicaments if you are sitting within a council and you have one majority who's always running the wrong direction, because you only need 50% plus one vote to get decisions through. I do think that in this last term, and even the previous term, Mangaung would have been a much worse place if it wasn't for the DA. We also brought motions of no confidence against the previous executive mayor. We also lodged a motion of no confidence against Siyonzana while he was still speaker, but he now evaded that by resigning and becoming the executive mayor. I think another harsh reality of the DA is that at the end of the day, municipality actually have 3 legs. It's the public, it's the politicians, and it's the administration. It would seem as if the party who is giving the most thought or actually honor the wishes of the residents of Mangaung currently is the DA. And if it was not for our ongoing pressure and keeping those accountable who brought the city this disrepute that it is currently, we would have had a much, much worse Mangaung.
So Mangaung has spent a year without a mayor. There is now a mayor. You clearly have misgivings. So what is your first order of business? Are you going to try and work with him to try and get as much done as possible to clean up the city? Or are you going to be pushing for a motion of no confidence? What is your plan?
Well, interestingly enough, one of our councillors, Councillor Hardie, just after we were finished with all the congratulations and everything in council today, tried via the speaker to speak to the executive mayor with the simple request that we must just meet as soon as possible, taking note of all the promises that he's made of rectifying everything that is wrong within the greater Mangaung. And unfortunately, he was not allowed to speak. Now, if that is already the way in which you are handled, it bothers me, but we are always prepared to work together. I even said in the council today, after congratulating the executive mayor, that he's made a lot of promises. It's a mammoth task. If one looks at the track record, it's difficult to believe, but hopefully he can change, and we will always be prepared to assist if possible. We want to meet with him as soon as possible, get the things right. Hopefully he will have an open door policy, but again, if we take the track record of the last 12 years, we will see. We will have to see. My hope is not that great.
All right. Well, we'll stay in touch, and thank you very much for chatting to us this evening, Councillor Hardie. Thank you, Councillor Hardie Viviers, caucus leader of the Democratic Alliance in Mangaung.